here.
Keeping Up Gaming. What's the one thing you miss the most about classic gaming that you wish would return? I, for one, miss instruction manuals.
I'm going to fucking go with instruction manuals, actually. And I'll tell you why. I saw this question, and it homed in on me like a fucking laser. So I love instruction manuals. Ones that I really like, there's the Nightmare of Druaga for the PS2 has a great one, full color, lots of cute little chibi art, the characters drawn in there, like Gil, the main character, and it's like little cartoons of him, and they're like showing you how you can move around the map screen and all that. I love old manuals that have like the hand-drawn art. It's cute, it looks fun, especially like in the old NES and Super Nintendo manuals where getting screenshots and stuff like that wasn't a perfect science, and it was sometimes just obviously pictures of a TV, or instead like the monsters were literal like rough sketches.
Oh, the artwork! I love the artwork in NES manuals.
Yeah.
Because half the time it's like they hired someone just from the office that, all right, we need some picture that kind of looks like him, and sometimes they look nothing like him.
Right. Do your best job at a moblin. Okay, fine. Okay, sure. Here you go. And then the names underneath the monsters and such. I love that stuff. And there were some companies that were still putting in that effort in the PS2, and even a few in the 360 and PS3 and Wii days. But now it's it seems like unless it's a special edition or something that Limited Run does, there was a special and a limited. I think that's a twofer. You don't see a manual. Vani has been interested in playing Monster Hunter on the Switch. She really enjoyed watching Monster Hunter World when I was playing that. She likes all the characters. She's always been interested in the game. And she loves the Switch, so she's like, okay, I think I'm gonna get this one. So I picked it up. I love Monster Hunter, and I'm thinking I tried the demo just to show her what it was, and the demo lets you try out like 6 fighting styles, and I realized going into the demo, oh right, there's no tutorial. There's just nothing. They don't show you. They don't tell you what any of the buttons are. Monster Hunter is notoriously difficult to get into. Like they don't hold your hand for any of it. World made it a bit easier. So I go and I grab my physical copy later, and I'm just like, I know there's no manual, but why? Some game I know that most games stopped needing manuals because of hand-holding tutorials, and that's why most of them don't need it, but there is still a need for a manual. There's nothing like having a paper reference.
A reference guide.
Fighting games,
complicated
RPGs, or things with lots of controls and lots of shit to do, like Monster Hunter, or like I said, role-playing games, anything with like a complicated set of moves. It's absurd. I've played 5 Monster Hunters, and even I would like some sort of reference, because I mean your Monster Hunter games span 3DS, PSP, PS2, PS4, Xbox now. You're playing these games with complex control schemes, and I've played them on 4 different systems. It's nice to have something to look at.
Yeah, and looking at your phone is not going to cut it. Looking at an FAQ.
I've tried. It sucks. I was trying to do that last night to help Vani with the demo. And what ends up is she would probably love that game, but I think by the end of just trying to fuck around with the controller and figure out like the different controls for sheathing and unsheathing, she's like, she was frustrated as shit. So manuals, they can help you sell things. Like,
no, manuals are nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Plus they can tell a story.
Yes.
The first time I played Legend of Zelda, everyone opened up that thick-ass manual and had like the stories. Go, there's a backstory to this. Because it wasn't like a sprawling backstory to a lot of console games at the time. It was like, hit the monkey in the face and get a prize. Like that was the story to a lot of games. So
yes, very good, Pat. This is maybe old man me talking at this point now. I mean, that's the practical reason why I miss manuals. But old man me is I want to be able to like turn on a game and get to playing it in maybe about 10 minutes, not half an hour, 35, like with the intro story. That was a great thing about a manual. Open it up, read that intro, be like, okay, I got some
Oh, no.
context.
I used to read the entire
Yeah.
NES manual before I played the game. I would read the whole thing. Okay, I'm set. I know the enemies. I know what's going on. I know the controls. I think it has 2 buttons.
I used to love taking the manuals for a new game to work and to school and breezing through them
There you
in
go.
the morning and homeroom.
All right. Real quick for me, I missed the surprise of in retro games. When the game came out, yeah, you see some screenshots, Nintendo Power. And you say, oh, it's coming out in spring? Okay, Three Stooges is coming out next year. I love those Three Stooges marathons locally that my dad would tape over in the VHS and yelled at me one year because I taped over by accident. And I was upset for a week. But I love those games that, you know, they give you like, oh, Pack Watch. Oh, this game's coming out. And you know, in Sega Visions or Turbo Plays. Oh, Legendary X is coming out next year or whatever. So nowadays, you have not just, you know, an announcement of the game 2 years before it comes out, or 5 when it comes to like the new fucking Elder Scrolls game. It's like, oh, this game's in development. You'll see it in 30 years. But until that time, you're going to have various character trailers and gameplay trailers and announcements. You're going to have a open beta where anyone can play it and know what the gameplay is exactly like. Then you're going to have the E3, you can play it at E3. Then you're going to have IGN be able to play it early. So you're going to have all this, you know the game. And then, like, when Spider-Man came out, it's like, oh, here's the first 20 minutes of the game before the game's out.
I can't stand
The
that.
first 20 minutes of the game before it's out. Do you imagine when a Super Nintendo game came out and if Nintendo said, here's the first 20 minutes of Super Mario World? Like, do you imagine that? It would have ruined it for you.
Yeah.
There's no surprise anymore. The magic is fucking gone. And that's Old Man Pat. We don't need to see the first hour of a game. And that goes to Nintendo too. Here's the first hour of Breath of the Wild or whatever. Like, we don't need to see that much.
Yeah, they
of
were
it.
doing that with Mario, and for whatever reason, with those sorts of games, it feels even
More dirty?
more dirty.
It's like, no, I don't want to be able to see the first boss of the game before
Yeah.
I get there. You know, I don't want to see that. I want to discover myself. That's part of the experience of video games.
I was angry when Nintendo.
That's the adventure.
When Nintendo told I can't believe Nintendo blew the whole "you turn into a T-Rex" thing. It was
Oh.
like, just let that be everyone's surprise.
Well, you know, they wanted to make sure it's sold, and
Yeah,
the
I
Switch
know.
was still sort of in, not limbo, but we want to make sure this is a smash hit, this system, and obviously it is. But but imagine though if they showed you, did they show you every single? They showed you the bullet bill changeover in that, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a great game, but yes, at the end of the day, I agree. I think I've even said that in response to a similar question on the podcast before.
Oh, I'm not stopping you.
The lack of, even just from the people who play games, the lack of desire to be surprised anymore is mind blowing.
Yes, people want too much info about these games too.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if they didn't announce half these characters for Smash and they kept it a secret. Now it's like, oh, here's all 75 characters and all the levels before you get into it. Wouldn't it be more fun if they kept some of that back?
Yeah,
You know?
but would they sell as many copies?
Yes, they would, Ian, because you don't
Yes.
need 80 fighters in any fucking game.
Well,
50's enough fighters for a game.
yeah, well, sure, but
If someone's gonna be that whiny, but oh, my character's not in, I don't think it is. They'll find out later from someone else that it's an unlockable.
they would though. I mean, it's more cutthroat now, so I don't know. Maybe people would want to bitch.
That Smash scene's fucking weird. The whole thing is weird, by the way. There's so many weird fandoms mixed up into Smash.
Nintendo fans and enemies are weird.
And enemies?
Nintendo.
You're an enemy now for not liking Super Nintendo. I'm an enemy for not liking N64. But we're fanboys.